Right, hey guys, welcome to the first edition of State of Play presented by On The Deck. This podcast is going to look at everything over the pond in terms of sports. So for this first episode, we're going to have a look at the NFL playoff picture for the upcoming season. We're going to present some general manager scenarios and we're going to have some discussion topics to go through.
So the first segment on this first podcast is headlines. We've all brought a headline to talk about. Ethan, what's the headline you've got for us?
For me, I've got, will Lamar Jackson stay healthy this season? And I was wondering what you boys thinking about it. He had a good season all around, but he did rush for 1,200 yards, and he was the sixth highest rushing player in the league. Could he stay healthy?
Swanny?
Yeah, I think it depends. It depends on how the Ravens do, to be honest. You know, if they go how they went last season, you know, the first sort of 8 or 9 games, they can seriously afford to rest him for long periods of the campaign. That the only issue is that hurts his stats. So whether he's, you know, this is what, his third year?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, you know, he's still a young lad. He still wants those stats to be as high as possible. So is he going to be willing to sit out if they say, you know, if he's questionable, they're obviously not going to want to risk him, but he's going to want to do it. He did it last season in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fair, I think.
My point around Lamar Jackson will come later as we talk through the seeds and the impact of Marquise Brown this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he's going to stay healthy. I think he's got it in him.
Yeah.
I think down the line he'll get injured, but not yet. I think it's too soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swanny, headline.
My headline / discussion point: Tom Brady at the Bucs. Good decision / is he at the point where his downward angle is sort of past no return now?
A tough issue for me personally. You know, I'd like to still see him in the Patriots uniform. Do I think he's got another couple of seasons in him? Yes, he has got a loaded offense. I expect him to play well, but I think we're at the point in his career where he can't do it without that loaded offense. And that's why...
he's not making plays himself anymore.
No.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Ethan,
what do you think, mate?
I believe Tom Brady's still him, still the GOAT. I think last season he just didn't have anyone to throw to in particular. Every QB needs a good receiver, and he didn't have a standout receiver this year at all. And I think with the Bucs, he's got a few more weapons in his arsenal. And then bringing Gronk back is it's like chemistry between them two is just going to be outstanding as usual. And I think it's a good turn for the Bucs.
Yeah, even if Gronk doesn't play that much, just having both of them together in the dressing room is going to be huge for them.
It's just a morality boost as well for the Bucs. Their turnovers was quite heavy last year. They had almost 30 turnovers. Yeah. With Tom Brady on the ball, they're going to be a lot more secure. And I think the O-line are going to be a lot more confident in front of him as well.
Mm.
The headline I want to bring you both, also quarterback related, is it's a quote from Aaron Rodgers, which says, "My sincere desire to start and finish with the same organisation may not be a reality at this point."
Right, sorry, go on, Matty, carry on. Because this has angered me. This has angered me, right?
Please.
Aaron Rodgers, get off your high horse, right, and just play football. Why say something like that? obviously they've drafted this lad, but he was drafted in what, the second or no, it was first round, wasn't it? But late on, out of the quarterbacks, he's not a threat to him. So why are you sitting there sweating about someone who's not a threat to you if you believe in your quality that much to start being arrogant and throwing away stupid comments like that? That annoyed me. That did. It annoyed me beyond belief.
Yeah, I think it's obviously a cheap blow back of the Packers, that one. I think he was very hurt by the draft pick early on in the first round. I think he is feeling threatened, but I think he's got to take it more of a compliment, if anything. If they're willing to bring on a youngster this early on that he can pass on his knowledge to, he's clearly shown how much of an impact he's had. They're just not giving him those receivers, and they've still not given them this year. So I think maybe he does need to move on if he has to.
Should Aaron have seen this coming, considering this is exactly how he got brought into the Packers with Brett Favre?
That's a very good point, to be fair.
Yeah. Isn't the new coach that they've got anyway, he's made some big decisions in the last season as well, hasn't he? He clearly wants to make his mark. But as you said, Ethan, Justin Love's there just as sort of to learn off Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be in there this season. He'll be like, so say Packers are having a good season and they need Love to come in and play the last 3 games to keep Rodgers fresh. It's like that.
Yeah.
You slowly bring him into it.
Definitely.
So it's not just, you look at some of the other teams, the situation where their top centre back has just gone like that and they've had to bring someone in. And, you've seen it so many times, they're not ready for it. So it just makes so much sense, which is why I don't get Aaron Rodgers' thought process behind it, to be honest.
So today's topic on the podcast is the playoff picture for the upcoming season. We're going to start off with the AFC. Number 1 seed, boys. I have the Chiefs.
I think that one's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
everyone.
I've gone with the Chiefs as well.
I've gone with the Chiefs on that one.
Can't really beat.
Go on.
I was just thinking Mahomes, 4,000 yards in the season, Super Bowl win.
Yeah,
it's an easy
carry. Definitely.
I do have written down on my notes 16-0 question mark.
Ooh.
I think what they did to the Texans in the playoff last year, how they went down by 3 scores and just turned it around in 1 quarter.
Well, I mean, they did it 2 or 3 times in the season, didn't they? Where they were down by sort of 14, 20 odd, and it's just. But it's not even like. So you see, maybe like the Pats will have a poor first quarter and slowly build it back. That Texans one by half time they were in the lead.
The
turnaround is unreal from them.
Yeah, they've just got so many playmakers.
I think. Go on. I just think offensively they're just like unbeatable at the minute. If one thing fails, they'll find another thing. They seem to always be like working around what they've got, and Mahomes just seems to be pulling it out. They've got Kelsey and that tight end just pulling moves out. Just like you said, George is just playmakers across the board. There's always someone in a different position.
Yeah.
Their defense is like slightly weakened compared to a lot of the bigger teams like the Ravens now, but I believe they can still do it.
Yeah, they're like in the playoffs and stuff. Like that Matty and cornerback was unbelievable on it.
Yeah, he was.
Some huge plays. I think it's just their individual matchups. You put them against every defense in the league, as you say, Ethan, and at least someone across the board has a perfect matchup against someone else. And then you've just got the perfect man who can hit every single one of them anytime he wants. So, that's an easy one for me.
Number 2 seed. I have the Ravens. Anyone?
Yeah.
They also have the Ravens. Again, as we discussed though, it is based on Lamar Jackson's fitness, obviously. If something does go wrong, then.
And then the addition of Calais Campbell in that defensive line as well is that defense as a whole is just going to be absolutely ruthless this year now, and they just keep adding to it, and the confidence is just going to grow.
Yeah.
The point I raised earlier about Marquise Brown was I read the article that he's had a plate taken out of his foot that was in for this season. So while he was already quick, he's now about to be even quicker.
He's now a bit lighter.
Just screams deep threat. You've got Lamar that can do everything, and if he's going downfield at full pace,
I know. Running backs as well.
Yeah,
their running game, Mark Ingram, so good.
Consistent.
Scary team.
I'm looking forward to an AFC title game between the Chiefs and the Ravens. That's number one on my list for this year. Seed 3, I have the Buffalo Bills.
I do also have the Buffalo Bills.
Again, yes, I have the Buffalo Bills. But we need to discuss this division in more depth, though, don't we? Because it is the question of the Pats, isn't it? Really.
True.
Yes.
I think.
But I mean, go on. Sorry, Matty. Go on.
I think the Bills across the board. I don't want to say head and shoulders, but I think they are a way above what the Pats are going to be this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They signed well, didn't they? And they drafted well.
Yeah, they added Stephon Diggs as well, which is going to be crucial for the passing game now. That's a manual one.
Yeah. Josh Allen, good enough?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he did okay last season, didn't he? I've got down here, I found out his pass completion percentage, little stuff here. It is only down at 58.8%, which I thought needs improving.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, probably.
Especially as a playoff team, you're expecting your QB to be landing more passes than that. Still got 3,000 yards in passing, but it's just...
Yeah, you'll take it, won't you?
Yeah, when in comparison to people like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, when Lamar's running up 1,200 yards and then Mahomes is dropping 4,000, it's like, that's what you're competing with. You need to step up your game.
Yeah, that's very true. He made some good sort of running plays, though, and so I think he's quite quick, isn't he? I think he gets about it.
Showed some gas throughout the season.
Yeah.
Seed number 4. I think this is where we might differ for the first time.
Cool.
AFC South, I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts.
I agree. I'm taking the Colts on that one.
Ethan,
I've gone with the Texans on that one.
Ethan, what do you see in the Texans this year? Losing DeAndre Hopkins, and you still think that they can win that division?
Huge.
I just feel like their defense has been consistent throughout each year, and that also Watson has stayed consistent with his throwing and run game. But also, I do agree that DeAndre Hopkins is a massive loss. I think that has been my toss-up with that 4th seed there. I've still been struggling to figure out who I wanted there, but I've stuck with the Texans for now.
It's a tough division, isn't it? It's really tough.
I think that's another. You're looking at 3 potential winners in that division.
Yeah, because you know.
The Colts, Titans, and...
the Titans. Everybody underestimating the Titans again.
Yeah.
You know, they kept their main players. They improved on defense. Like, Derrick Henry could just run away with the league yet again. So,
yeah. The issue, I think, with Derrick Henry is I feel like he is, as a running back, he is an out-and-out running back where he just, if the gap is there, he can take it, but if the block's not there, he doesn't seem to be his own hole, like the likes of Saquon and people like that, and Ezekiel.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think that is only a small downfall for him, to be quite honest.
He doesn't have many receptions either, does he? Like sort of an Aaron Jones does for the Packers.
Yeah.
Out the backfield, if need be, just toss it off and he might get 6-7 yards, doesn't really.
Yeah.
Not that I'm criticising him, he's an absolute beast.
Seed number 5, as we get into the wild cards, I think this is where we're going to see some more toss-ups.
Okay, where's my number 5?
I don't have a team in seed number 5, but I do have a division.
You don't have a team?
I have the AFC North, and I can't really decide between the Browns or the Steelers. Am I buying into the Browns this year? Is Ben Roethlisberger going to stay healthy?
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it?
So there's a lot of ifs and buts, but I deal with absolutes. That Browns team, with the improvements that they made on the draft, could be sensational in this division. Having Myles Garrett back as well is huge.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely huge.
Yeah.
I think the whole team the whole team is looks impeccable right now, but I just think Baker is losing it too much. I think he got too confident and then he got cocky, and then I think he's lost it. Then he's not trusting his receivers. He's missing a lot of plays at the moment where his receivers are wide open. He's not reading the field as well. And I think that is the Browns' biggest downfall is in Baker at the moment. I think he's just got to that stage where he had a good start to his rookie season, and then he's taken that in with cockiness into the second.
I agree. I hope. I don't support the Browns, but I'd like to see him do well just because of the hype and stuff. But the way that they added to their offensive line will hopefully help Baker. He just spends too long with the ball.
That O-line in general as well. It's just...
it's not great. So, if that improves and he gets longer in the pocket, then, as you say, the weapons that he's got are just unbelievable.
Who do you boys have sat in 5th seed?
I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Steelers are looking... I'm sure the stat was that if we'd had this 7th seed every year, the Steelers would have made the playoffs 10 out of 10 times in the past 10 years.
Yeah, they sneak up, don't they?
It's all on Ben staying fit, really.
Yeah, they're always just at that level of consistency, but just not consistently good enough, if you know what I mean. I feel like they're always just subpar, just at the wrong times.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't back them in the playoffs. Probably to beat anybody, to be honest. If they got there, if they managed to get there as maybe like the 7th seed, I don't see them causing upset or anything. I don't think they've got enough. Really.
Seed number 6, then. This is where I'm taking the Tennessee Titans.
I've got the Titans in 6 as well.
Titans.
Okay.
Swanny?
Interesting. I've got a little bit of a curveball in it. I've taken the newly Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, I like it. I do have the Raiders crossed out.
I can't believe it.
I do have them crossed out.
I think they've got a capable quarterback in Derek Carr. Josh Jacobs was sensational last season. He went completely under the radar throughout the whole season, and should have probably been considered a little bit more highly for Rookie of the Year. I'm so excited to see Ruggs.
Yeah.
So excited. Do you boys think this could potentially be another Tyreek Hill?
I mean, definitely he's got the speed for it, and it's just athletic ability all round, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely mad.
I like him, and I like the idea of... Look, I've seen Las Vegas on a weekend. I know what it looks like. You put a football team in the middle of that, and it's going to be unbelievable. So it would be nice to see them make a playoff run, just for the atmosphere, just for the ticket prices already. I'm pretty sure the reselling. I think the cheapest ticket if you can find one, is about $1,000 just for a ticket. It's going to be something else. Seed number 7, boys.
I've finished off with the Colts here.
Colts.
Makes
Swanny.
sense.
I've finished off with the Pats.
Swanny, I'm glad somebody else is there with me. The New England Patriots are my number 7 pick. I do not care what anyone says. You cannot count out Bill Belichick. Forget Tom
That's
Brady.
exactly it.
Forget the fact that he's
That is
gone.
it.
He wasn't that good last year, and we finished 12-4. We've lost some defensive players, I understand, but I don't think someone like Belichick lets them go unless he knows he can replace them.
I completely agree.
It's been a toss-up for me whether I wanted to keep the Patriots in there for my 7th seed. I believe Belichick can do it if he has the mindset that he has had all this time. I think he knew he was losing Brady, so he definitely had stuff in place for when he left. I don't think he's stupid like that just to let the biggest player of our time go and not have a backup plan in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think I just couldn't discount. I had to find a way to get him in there because I genuinely think they will be in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they get 10 wins this season and get in there.
Was the toughest schedule not put off?
Well, they've had quite a tough schedule for the last couple of years, haven't they? I think I remember they had the toughest by the calculations of some bloke in America last year as well. I think they're used to it, and the way that they play as well. Reliant on defense and stuff. It's them scrapey, horrible, nasty wins where you're watching it, and you're just like, this is terrible, but they come away with the wins. I think they'll do it dirty, and they'll do it horrible. They'll do it like Bill Belichick wants them to, and they'll get him.
So the NFC, straight into it, number 1 seed. I have the Saints. Different.
I have the Saints.
Saints for Swanny.
I've done 49ers.
49ers.
Oy.
Why the 49ers first?
I think Garoppolo is just going to need to redeem himself after that finals performance. I think he's going to come out all guns blazing. And I don't know if Drew Brees still has it in him to win every game like he has been. But I have put him in as my 2nd seed.
Don't think he'll win every game.
I love that.
He'll be there. So have you ever considered this, Ethan? Jimmy Garoppolo's just not that good.
I was just about to say this. Is he actually good enough to make up for his performance?
Yeah. I think there's been an argument for a while, isn't it? I just feel like if the 49ers can just get to anywhere near what they were last year, then maybe Garoppolo's got a chance to redeem himself and just hide underneath the team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this season you'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
If he has a class season, then fair enough.
Yeah.
You proved us all wrong.
But
if he doesn't, then it could. I think the media will be very, very quick to jump on his back if they have a poor first 4 or 5. Maybe go 4-2 or something. I think they'll be straight onto him, and then obviously with media pressure, then you've got to make decisions about him, haven't you?
Yeah, and especially competing with the likes of Brady in that division now as well.
Yeah, well, that's how they're going to play it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think he's got an extra year to do that because he's so good looking?
He's got the best jawline I've ever seen.
Well, I have slagged him off. However, I do have him as the number 2 seed, so obviously I don't think he's that bad. Ethan, we've got the Saints in number 2. Swanny.
Yeah.
I've got Seahawks in number 2.
Seahawks.
It's a big shout.
Division.
Yeah.
It's a big shout.
Yeah, I think up until probably the last 3 games of last season, Russell Wilson was pretty much there with Lamar Jackson for MVP running. I think a lot of people have forgotten about that.
Yeah.
They've got a great running game. They've got a lad with one arm. And they've got weapons all over the place. I love the Seahawks. I love watching them play. I think they'll win that division.
Seahawks have never had a losing season under Russ. So
yeah, I've got that in my notes, to be fair.
Yeah.
What guy?
Seed number 3. I'm contentious about this. I think it has to be now or never. I have the Cowboys at number 3.
I have the Cowboys at 3 as well.
I didn't do it. I have the Eagles at 3.
Eagles. Why the Eagles?
I have the Eagles. I think the team's there. We watched the documentary, Matty. They've had some hard luck, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think the actual core of the team is really, really good. I think signing someone they signed Goodwin as well. He's getting on a bit. He's quite old, but just that experience in the dressing room. I like the Eagles, and I really don't like the Cowboys. So I think I'd like them to get it above the Cowboys.
And in the 4th seed, we have all left the North Division. I'm pretty sure we'll have the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
Good draft. Good draft.
Is it the Vikings are good? Is it the Packers are bad? Is it the Packers?
I think, yeah, it's definitely that. It's definitely they're the best of a bad bunch. But I think, they sign well. Diggs is huge loss.
Yeah.
But towards the end, he had an attitude problem. Justin Jefferson, very excited to see Justin Jefferson. Very excited. I think he's going to become the main receiver. I think he'll get loads of receptions this season, as he did with LSU. Who else did they get? Gladney at cornerback. They had cornerback issues. I just think they ticked off pretty much everything they needed to do in the draft. Yeah. Obviously, it's a risk.
The cornerbacks was the biggest thing, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. You don't know how these players are going to adjust to the NFL, but on paper, I've got them. They'll probably win that pretty safely, to be honest.
Justin Jefferson, Rookie of the Year.
Ooh. I don't know about that.
Just for the players coming in so you start looking at the top end of that draft. Just for the players that are going in to teams that are going to be on the winning side, and who's going to play the most. I'm looking at someone like Joe Burrow. I'd love for Joe Burrow to win it, but they're still going to be on the losing season. Same with
probably same with Chase Young.
Yeah. Everyone that sort of went at the top end.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come the same problem.
I've got a name down here for the Bills. Zach Moss, the running back. They took him early. They traded up just before the draft to get that pick. I think he could be.
It's a good shot, to be fair.
Yeah, he could be really big for them. That sort of triple threat, the Allen, Moss and Diggs for the Bills. I know I've already spoken about them, but could be interesting.
Seed number 5. I found this tough to not put them as division winners. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Same.
I've gone for Buccaneers at 5th as well. Yeah. I think, to be quite honest, all my seeds been quite close toss-ups between everyone, to be fair. I think NFC is quite tight this year, and it's going to be very interesting watch. Choked. The addition of Brady and Gronk, that's going to just be so much confidence for them. They added from defense, Devin White. He's looking promising as always, and he thinks the defense can still carry the team. If he's got that much confidence in the defense, then Tom Brady's coming in and putting that confidence in the offense. I think they're just going to be unruly, to be fair, this season.
Yeah, I like that. I think they got a lot of stick for their defense last season, but the amount of picks that Winston threw, they just put the defense in such difficult areas.
Yes.
That at points I felt quite sorry for him. Matty, I'll let you say why you've got them there, and then I've just got one question which could just throw everything they've got under the bus. So I'll let you speak.
I'm excited. I'm looking at the NFC potential equivalent of the Chiefs, where it's going to be you can score how many points you want, we'll score more. I think in terms of touchdowns that they'll score, obviously Jameis scored a lot last year, but it's not so much improving on that, it's just eliminating the picks. If you're going to get 20 less picks this season, you're going to start flying up that table, no problem.
Yeah.
I think Gronk, question mark, but I don't think other teams can afford to use him as a question mark. If you don't treat him like a serious threat, he'll still punish you.
He's still that threat, isn't he, no matter what, especially lining up with his partner like that in Brady. I do think Brady being there is just going to be that difference just for the turnovers alone. They were our highest turnovers in the league with 30, and that's massive. That is such a game-winning property in you. If you can reduce those numbers as soon as possible, and they have already done that with having Brady in the quarterback.
Swanny,
agreed. Just you just said about Gronk. You can just imagine him coming on third downs, can't you?
Yeah.
Sort of 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 7, and you're not required to go any further than 6 yards, Gronk, but just safe hands on the same wavelength as Brady. You can see him picking up so many of them. What I was just going to say, could this not be another Brown situation? Where you have so much hype, all of these weapons around a heavily hyped up quarterback. Is there the potential for the Bucs to just have a meh season? And everybody's just like, they're just like, oh.
They are in that category of the Browns. But you look at the Browns, and you mentioned it before with the Vikings. It was a tick box exercise. They did what they needed to in the off season, probably more than they needed to in the off season. Did they need Gronk? Probably not. Nice to have him.
Yeah.
And the same way with, all right, this season I'm buying into the hype of the Browns. I'm buying into the hype of the Bucs.
Yeah.
I think the main difference is between the Browns and the Bucs. Browns is a very fresh, new-looking team. I think bringing in the experience of Brady and Gronk there is the difference. Is like there's the hype behind it, but they can also perform under pressure, and they've shown it time and time again. I think that's the biggest difference between.
Also,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Next year's Super Bowl just happens to take place in the Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. That'd be nice to see, I think.
Yes.
Line them up,
I would like to see that.
Yeah. Do you think... I don't know about them in the playoffs, So if they... So what are they? Seed 5. So who would seed... Bear with me. Who would seed 5 play in the playoffs?
To begin with, they'll take on number 4. So we're looking Vikings, Bucs.
Vikings, Bucs. With the Vikings in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So,
no, there'll be... if everything goes the way it should be, there'll be no home field advantage for them until the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It would line them up nicely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would.
I would. Do you know what? It's a nice story for us.
It's the fairy tale of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Seed number 6. This is where I take, and it does have fully fit next to it. This is where I take the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
What have we got on the board, boys?
Go on,
I've gone in with the Seahawks here. I think the addition of Jadeveon Clowney is just massive for them. Their edge rushing was their biggest loss last year, and as a boost for the team. And then Russell Wilson, as you said, since he's joined, they've just been a winning team since 2012. Took them to a Super Bowl final, won it. I just think now they've got their tools. They're an aggressive team. They just need to follow through now and finish it off. I think they are a very feared team in the league because of how aggressive they play. So they are the wild card for me in this division as well as the Buccaneers.
Great celebrations as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My number 6, I've got 49ers down.
49ers.
Got 49ers. I think losing Buckner, losing Breeder, running back, I think that they're 2 huge losses. I think the GM said the other day that losing Buckner was one of the hardest decisions he's had to make. And I think, as we've spoken about, I don't massively trust Garoppolo at this point.
Yeah.
It could prove me wrong, but if they had a solid quarterback in there, then definitely. But other than that, I'll have them at 6, please.
Seed number 7, and I've struggled since we said that this is what we're going to do. I've struggled with so much swapping and changing, and even now when I'm reading them out, I'm like, oh, I want to swap and change that. I do take the Seahawks at number 7, as we've said. You cannot rule out Russ. Whilst he's there, they're going to have a winning season. They're going to be in the playoffs. It's a guarantee. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. I was about to say it's a guarantee, but it's probably the closest thing to one. Who do you boys have at number 7?
Go on, Swanny.
I mean, as we've said all along, this was such a just throw of a dice. I think for this you've got 1, 3, maybe 4 teams that could take this, and that's because I love the improvements that the Falcons and the Cardinals have made.
Yeah,
they're huge. But despite saying I hate them, I have gone for the Cowboys purely because of Dak and Amari Cooper and Zeke Elliott. So not purely because of Dak. But, I would love the Falcons and Cardinals to be in the playoffs, but I think maybe the inexperienced new teams like that, putting them all together, I think they just miss out.
Definitely. I was a toss-up for me between the Eagles and the Cardinals. I ended up going with the Eagles just for the experience alone. I do feel like the Cardinals are looking a lot better, that's for sure. And I think with the additions they've made, it could be a good season for them. And that's why I think the NFC right now is just looking insane. Any team has got a winning team in it against any other team in the division. And I think that's what looks scary for like other teams. Like they don't really know what to expect from each other now in the NFC. So I think it's going to be a good few games coming up.
That's such a good point. It's not like they've made like one or two changes each. It's been like monumental changes that could change the whole way your team plays. So as you say, that unpredictability and going, them first games of the season. You literally just have to look at the first play, don't you, and be like, "Oh, okay, that's how they're going to play."
Yeah.
Do you think no mention for the Packers from any of us? Do you think we're being a bit harsh, like they were in the NFC title game last year, despite the fact that I felt personally they were very underwhelming, but they did still finish 13-3 in the NFC title game. If we mentioned earlier about Rodgers being a little crybaby. If Rodgers stays, have we got to keep them in contention up there?
Yeah, I suppose you do, but Rodgers annoyed me, so.
I think with just the actions and the attitude it brings into the team in general, I feel like if that's your leader, that's your quarterback, coming into before the start of the season, he's already making assumptions and he's crying out already. What does that have? What effect does that have on your team from the get-go, offensively and defensively? If QB can't be trusted by the defense because he's having a wobbly, then how is it going to look for the rest of the season?
So this week's general manager scenario, I've sent you a list of various running backs from the NFL, and it's very simple. I just, as any GM, actually let's say you've got to link it with a team as well. Okay, so yeah, let's do it like that. So I want one running back from the NFL who you think would link perfectly with a certain team. Okay, so the running backs that you've got to choose from are Saquon Barkley, Todd Gurley II, Henry, Elliott, Jones, McCaffrey, and Dalvin Cook. Okay?
Right.
So what's your initial thoughts?
I think from the list, I think I'm taking Saquon.
Okay, interesting.
They're all up there. They're all very close.
Yeah, it's difficult because they're all absolutely class, and I've missed out quite a lot of other very good ones as well.
I just think out of the ones, he's probably had the least problems in terms of...
Yeah.
We watched the Dallas Cowboys documentary. We saw the problems with Zeke. Derrick Henry was showing a bit of injury towards the end in the last season. And I do think obviously we're taking the top running backs here, but there is still a top half of these top running backs. I do just think he is on that side.
Yeah,
so
at that elite level.
I'm taking Saquon.
Okay. We'll do Ethan's, and then you can give us a team that you think Barkley would have the biggest impact at. Okay, go on, Ethan.
For me, I think I'm going to go for Christian McCaffrey, just for his ability to be in the backfield and as a receiver. I feel like he can do a mixture of both very well. And the fact that he he has pretty much just carried that Panthers team with that O-line this season. I just think he's athletic. This toughness of the kid is just unruly. And I just feel like he's got all-round ability. He is obviously a toss-up between Barkley and McCaffrey for me because I do like them agile players who can create their own holes. I think they're very good at it. Obviously, I wouldn't pick Gurley due to him. I feel like the man is falling apart now. He's having a lot of injuries. Henry, like I said earlier, I feel like although he is just a beast, I feel like he does really rely on that O-line to open up a hole for him rather than creating his own hole. Zeke is just a bit of both. He can do everything, but I just feel like because he's got the Cowboys O-line, which is the best O-line in front of him, it makes him look even more better than what he is, especially with the issues he's been having lately.
Yeah, that's fair enough. A lot of injuries as well with Zeke as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
I must admit, I'd have done the same as you, Ethan. I'd have gone for McCaffrey. I think he's pretty much in the MVP talk every season now, to be honest. I'd go for him. Right, have you got a team, Matty?
See, I'm gonna go left field here. Just hear me out. Just hear me out for a second. It's easy to put one of these running backs in the Tennessee Titans, Dallas Cowboys, where that O-line is where it's class.
Yeah.
And here's where I'm gonna go left field. You said impact, so I'm taking that, and I'm gonna take Ethan's pick of Christian McCaffrey. And I'm going to put him on the Miami Dolphins. And here's why.
Nice.
I like that one.
McCaffrey's girlfriend, Olivia Culpo, was dating...
Yeah, I love where this is going already.
Was dating Danny Amendola, who couldn't be trusted in Miami, so was shipped off to Detroit. They broke up. I would like to see if Christian McCaffrey could have the same impact in Miami.
That's class.
I like that was all.
Nice. Very good. Very good reason. Go on, Ethan. What's yours?
I was trying to think now. Biggest impact.
Yeah.
You're trying to think of the bottom end teams. Really, what they really need.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Jacksonville, if they took McCaffrey, if they had him in their arsenal, although they've got Fournette and they've got a solid running back in him, I feel like he's very inconsistent, and that's what lets Jags down a lot because they do rely on him and they try to build their run game around him. If they had a running back that was consistent like McCaffrey or Saquon, such like that, I just feel like the Jags could make a dent in the league.
Yeah, that's a good shout actually. Fournette he was very close to being on the list, but I think that's mainly around the hype around him coming from college. He's been very, very good, obviously, but as you say,
I think he just had them little struggles here and there. Sometimes he just does struggle to make those extra yards when he shouldn't. For such a big guy, 6'1", 240 pounds, he just doesn't seem to get through those people. Where I feel like McCaffrey or Saquon, they just cut through that gap, or they just get around that player, and I just feel like that's what Jacksonville need in that run game right now.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Who would I go for? I'd like to see. I'd like to see maybe an Aaron Jones or something at somewhere like the Redskins, because Peterson's about 80 years old now.
Yeah.
So one of those players who as we've spoken about, can do everything in your attack. Yeah. It'd be cool to see what a player like Jones, what impact he could have with the Redskins. That'd be pretty interesting. I'd like to see that.